no no do 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 do. Hello, hello. Let's see, what are we doing today? Last time what did we do last time? Right. Last time we changed entity type to an entity. Oh, right. Last stream we had an impromptu physics lesson from It Just Works Okay. Talked about foliated fraction field order theory. Still have no clue what that is. Talked about gauge theory, talked about Reed-Rezai state, pseudo-spectra theory, something something qubit, something something unchangeable, something something turns a 3-year analysis into a 3-second project. Then the fact that they're working with 3 to the negative 5 Kelvin and had to apply 10 tera electron volts to the particle they're working with, which was essentially a dark matter, I think they said. Crazy stuff. Fun fact, the universe is made up of 27% dark matter. Learned that yesterday. Also, that they are breaking the Pauli exclusion principle to stack electrons. That's mind-boggling. And I think they had a caveat. They're not technically breaking the Pauli exclusion principle, it's just they're bending it, I guess. I don't know. You might need to ask it for more info. And Owlman came in the chat. They talked about how they're doing the same thing in Odin, but they're thinking about moving back to C or C++. Maybe they're feeling the same thing or similar, overwhelmed by the syntax and stuff. And then they helped me by giving me advice about reference, having versioning numbering stuff. So instead of just pointers, like I have right here with my entity, they suggested that if I'm going to recycle entities, I might need to use references. The world will hold these references for the enemies. For example, if you have a zombie tracking a player, and then that player dies, the zombie will stop tracking if the version doesn't match. So when the player dies, you increment the version number, and then the version of the player that the zombie held is no longer the same one as the original player. So, you know, you get the point. And then once we got off our physics crash course, we modified grid to hold pointers to entities instead. A 2D array that holds pointers to entities instead of just entity type. This is because what was the reasoning again? Can't remember. Let's see. Check out the code. Why did we? A pretty good reason, but right. Why do we want to hold this again? Okay. Right. Because we also wanted to change the color and the type, not just the type itself. So we need the actual entity so that we can modify it directly. This is part of what we're gonna rework today. Instead of again, instead of doing a for loop over the grid, we're just gonna try to map the mouse XY position on click into the IJ coordinate. But yeah, anyways, that's why we modified from entity type to entity, because we wanted to get the entity itself and modify the type and the color. Kept track of grid IJ as player moves or bean spawns. That's main. Right here. So basically, when the player presses W or moves upward, we revert the type of where the player was to the tile. We move up the grid. That's why it's I minus equals 1. And then we change the new entity on the grid as entity player. We do the same thing for all the keys, and then so that's the player moving, and the bean spawn is just right here. Which reminds me, actually, we want to yeah, okay. So see how we reverted the previous position of the player into an entity tile? We want to do the same thing for the bean. I just kind of forgot about that yesterday. So I did it for the player, where I reverted the old position into the tile, and then once the player moves, we modified the new tile that the player is standing on into entity player. We just need to do the same thing for bean. I think I'm gonna do it here. So we're gonna hide the bean, and then we are going to basically do this. Choose it to entity type. Actually, we're gonna do that first, and then we hide the bean, because hiding the bean means changing the position to IJ, whereas we want to make sure that the old position is reverted to tile before that. We Talking out loud actually helped me debug. Would have thunk it. Cool. Just see what else. What else? Toggle wall or tile on mouse click. Did I turn on VCX XRV? I did. Let's see. I did. Okay. So it'll make the game. Basically, what we did was this. Any grid we click is going to turn orange. We haven't added the logic to prevent the player from crossing, but basically it's just a wall. Okay, that's what we're gonna do today as well. Yeah. Map XY, mouse XY, to ij mathematically instead of using a for loop, right? Because we're looping over the 2D array and then checking each one, which takes a lot longer than just mapping with math. Still have to figure that out. And then we're gonna add logic so that the player can't move through walls, which should be just a simple here, adding the boundary conditions. So if it's pressed, and then if the grid position let me think. Wait a minute. Okay, no, that worked. Yep. If the grid is greater than 0, basically if it's within the grid that we already defined, index of the grid we already defined, should be just adding like a and. Can we just add it? Grid. We just add, right? Yep. As long as the type is not equal to entity wall, we should be able to pass through. Alright, so this is for the W. So it is able to pass through. Wonder why. I'm thinking about it. I caught it, but I wasn't sure. I think this is incorrect logic. Because this refers to the current position, right? I think it should be this. It doesn't really... Oh wait, no, never mind. Oh wait, no, I is sorry, I equals 0 is a valid index. Okay. Let me see. Wait, what did we do again? Pause I, pause J. Oh, okay. So maybe this. Yes, there we go. So I'm pressing W and it can't cross that wall. Okay, cool. So yeah, we just need to -1. So actually, I think this logic is incorrect, and I was correct on that assumption. So just put this in here. Put an equal sign to make sure that 0 is included as the... Yep. So I wonder why it worked before. Like, why did this work? So if we're at 0, okay. Oops. Nope. If it's at 0. Yeah, okay. So if it works because if we're at 1, so row equals 1 or I equals 1, it's still greater than 0. It passes here, it moves it upwards. So now I is 0, and then the next frame, if we press W again, I is already 0. We can't go up any further. Makes sense. Same thing with the column. Same thing at the edges. Bottom and right. Okay, yeah. I'm thinking about indexing these outside because that's kind of getting crazy. IG. So we're just replacing that with that. Maybe not, maybe not. Because I'm thinking this is assigning two player pointers. Player pointer. But this is just an int, so if we change this -1, it won't actually change the thing inside the player pointer. I just don't like this though. This looks like it's gonna... Sorry. It's gonna get too big or get too long. I don't know. I've never used C before, so I don't know the convention. People do that? Like, I don't know. I think I might write a setter for this because writing this thing is just getting too verbose. Um, set type pointer, set position to position. Do this position I as well. What's this? D type? Right. What? Right. Doo -doo. Doo -doo. Ah. And I know it's gonna might be a bug. Uh, the this kind of thing. I'm changing the type only, and that might be a bug in the future, but we'll get that bridge when we cross it. Get to that bridge when we cross it. Bo, 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 bo. I don't like this. This looks ugly. Right, this should work, right? Say we're in the middle, then we have 4 walls. Yeah, we can go anywhere. Nice. Walls implemented. I don't know if anyone saw, but TJ Debris, he's making a podcast apparently. Apparently the stand-up pod is not enough, so he's making another one. Teach DB. I love the title though. His his new podcast title is Cozy Coder Hour. It's him and Beacon. I wonder if I'm gonna get copyright striked if I just played their podcast. Let me check that out. I get copyright strike. I play a podcast on Twitch. From YouTube. Oh, okay. Publicly available doesn't mean really go right on restream. I guess I'll have to get permission from Peach first if I do want to do it. Peach debris. Do 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 do. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Ah, whoops. Mm. I wonder how. Okay, I'll just email him. I mean, should be no problem, right? Cold email never hurt anyone. Yeah, I'll just email him from this one. Debris. Oh, his actual. Hi, Tej. Love the stand-up podcast and. I mean, the worst he can say is no, right? So I'm just gonna email him. Hi, Teach. Love the stand-up pod and the new Cozy Coder Hour. A small streamer, just started last week. Have to play a pod. Asked on stream. We'll see. Whatever, sent it. Wait, I haven't pushed it? Gotta be kidding. I hate Codeberg. It does this every time. Oh, you've got to be. Oh, I can't remember my. Okay, I'll just push. Can't remember. Alright, I think this justifies a getter, to be honest. Get... yeah. Entity type. So, just gonna return this thing. Oh. Yeah. Da 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 da. Da da da. PPTR also I minus 1 PPTR. No. Is it the address? Oh my god. Really? Position. Oh. It doesn't really change anything. Damn it. Well, I guess it kind of does. Should I just do it inside? This looks like it's gonna be too long. Oh, sup, man? It just works okay. How's it going, dude? How are you? Pretty good. I'm literally going to bed in a bit. Oh. Okay, man. No worries. Just chilling. Yeah, I honestly wasn't going to stream, but I don't know, I just couldn't sleep. Just hammering a bit of new research today, and I'm off. So just seeing how you and your code base have been. Cool. Nothing much. Just we basically added a wall yesterday. Wait, let me see. I don't think this is. Basically, yeah, if I click on a grid, it turns orange, and now the player can't pass through it. How was your research? the push and tea water. Oh, that's a good question. I've never tested it before. Let me think. I'm pretty sure I added the condition to not change it. If it's... Yeah, I already basically handled it here, which means the type must be the grid type. I think it's because I initialized the grid first. Oh, sorry, I initialized the player first and the bean first. And when I push the entity onto the grid, the type changes. And the latest one being pushed is the grids. So... I think I should just put it here. Nope. I don't get it. Why does it make it everything just a grid? See? Thanks for the buck catch, man. Have a good night. Peace. Toggle wall. Click. Let's see. Is it only the player? What if it's the... What if it's the... It's the beans. Okay, so for some reason... Huh. Oh wait, it's only on the first... Ah, okay. That's weird. It's only on the first init. That's interesting. Okay. So I think this is... Oh, because when we move, we're setting the type already. Okay. I see. player. Init grid turns into wall. Changing. I might work on this bug too, where we only set the type. Might have to set the entity as well. Okay. Let's see. Oh right, dangling pointer. Yeah. Is it really just like a dangling pointer and we can't really do that? I'm curious though, I want to see. TR. I think I want to just do this, honestly. Move player and then give it the world and give it the position. Give it the new position. TR, pause I, -1, and then PBTR. J. Move player. World south. Self. These. Pretty sure it's index 0. Oh, I remember now. Talk about it later. Let's see. So, entities player. Want to move player. Player? Pause I. Player. Right. Pause. No, just pause. Give the position. Actually, no. You want to set the position before that. So self, grid, position I, position J. Do entity. This is where this bug comes in. I was just changing the type before, but now I have to change the thing as well. The actual entity. Pointer. I don't know the index of the grid where the player was. Oh, dude. How do you change types? That's why. Boy. I think we just gotta... Because we don't know the grid. Oh my god. Back with the same problem again. I can't convert from a 1D array to a 2D. Because this entities thing is holding everything. It's holding the players, holding the bean, holding the grid. Oh god, I'm feeling a bit stuck again. I guess technically we do know the... Um... Alright, what's the problem? Where are we at? Basically, we are trying to move the player. And by moving the player, we want to make sure that the grid before is of the same type. No, I want to make sure that previous grid that the player is on is pointing back to the actual grid in the entities array again. And we don't know the index of that thing. Entity tau. Let's think about this for a second. So basically, how do we map from the 2D to 1D? So index 0 is player, index 1 is bean, so the rest of the indices is gonna be related to grid. Right? So grid I0, J0. Let's just write this out, honestly. Get up there. Grid. Grid IJ. No. So grid 0, 0 is just entities 2. Grid. What's the next one? Row 0, column 1 is entities 3. Grid 1, 0 is entities. What is this? We go up to 14, right? So entities. 13, right? Grid 0, 0, 0. I think it's 13. I think so, right? So this is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6, 0, 7, 0, 8, 0, 9, 0, 10, 0, 11, 0, 12, 0, 13. Yeah, okay. That's 0, 13. And we go down. That's entities 14. Okay. Oh. So how do we map it here? IJ. Oh. And then 1, 1 is just 15, right? IJ. So every I is going to add a 14, right? So, like, for example, if we do something like grid 2, 0, this is going to be 28. And grid 2, 1 is going to be 29, right? Like, right, so what was it again? So 0, 13 is 13. And then this is 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aha. And then 28 right here. All right. Right, so we can just map it then, right? Yeah. Int index get tile index world self position pause. This is basically converting ij into index. Grid aj that these index. Oh, let me see. Let me think actually. Is it true? No, I think this... Okay, we gotta add the 2. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta add the 2. That's the offset. Because 0 is... Okay, let's just put it here. Fine. Player. Index player ID 10. Bean ID. File ID. Start ID. Just 2. This. ID. One. Okay. What about 0? Really? Am I not indexing the player at all? Okay. I'll start ID plus. This is incorrect. I think this is going to be 15 actually. So, oops. What? Oh, right. Let's just do that first for a second. So, right. So grid 0, 0, which is here, is 2, right? So this is 3, this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep. So this is going to be... This is going to 15, which means this is 16, this is 17, there's going to be 30, 31. Yeah, so the math is the same, it's just we're offset by 2. And then plus j plus I times grid call, I think. Yeah. So for every... Yeah. For every row we move, we add a column times the I. And just to make sure that we're doing it right, I want to see... Let's print it out. Here. Get index. So we'll give it the world. We'll give it the current position, I guess. Current player position. It's gonna be printf %d. Just gonna do that. And we're gonna do after as well. Up. Wait, why aren't we printing anything? Oh? %d from 2. Yes. Cool. Is j minus 1. This is I plus 1 plus 1. And this j. Yep. So we're currently at index 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep. So if I calculated it correctly, then if we go down now, it's going to be 14, 29 or 30. I think it's 30. Oh, 29. Okay, yeah. And then going down will be plus 14, which is gonna be 43. Yep. Okay, cool. Huh, it was that easy. So instead of all these things, we're gonna have to do move player. Nice. Okay, so we've mapped it. We are getting the self entities. Get tile index. Self position. Right? Just player index. What? Player ID? No, it's just gonna do this. Player position. We're changing the old thing. Grid pause I, pause J into the actual just grid, and then or tile. Moving the player into the new position, and then sorry, this is what we're trying to do. There we go. So the old player position will be the tile where it is, right? And then the new position will be the player. Right? This is moving a player to the new position. Change the old player's position on the grid into the tile, and then move the player, and then keep track of the grid again. By putting the player in the new position. Right? Instead of pause, let's say 2. Makes more sense. And this one, let's say it's position. Wait, no. We need the player. Okay. I'm just gonna say this from as well, because like, it's just getting confusing. From I. From J. Get talent index. Is basically the from thing. The from tile, which is going to be this thing, I think. Oops, there we go. Yes, not tile index, tile ID. Right? Now let's try this out. So move player. Oops. Hooray! Okay, nice. So this time, instead of just setting the type, the entity type, we're properly moving the entity from grid to grid. Yay! Nice. Right. So everything's gonna break now. What else are we gonna do? Well, I guess we don't need to delete this for now. The move player. W position GR. Pause J. Nope, pause I. I think I want this to be inside here because see, we're having the same thing. Oops. We're having to write the same thing twice. I know. Early optimization, whatever, but yeah, I'm just gonna write it here. Or actually, we can just do like, yeah. Is wall maybe. Let's get things set up first instead of player. +1. Cool. Okay. Instead of next, let's just say 2. Where's is wall? No, not that. Get center. No, not that. Alright, get type. Type. Let's just say it's bool and is wall, and then we give it the world self, and then position to check, or 2. Actually, just pause. Makes sense. Turn self grid pause I pause J type equals empty wall. Nice. Then we will get rid of this, right? And instead we will do if Hmm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. If is wall what to it's not wall, then we move. Yes? Yes. 2. Nice. Readable, readable, readable. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice. Do 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 do. This is 2. J. -1. Why is it doing this? 2. If not wall, then move it. The wall. Position. Why am I doing this? Why not just copy paste? There we go. Copy pasta. And this is 2. We need to get rid of this and this. And then position 2. It's +1. This. This. If is all 2. Then we don't really need this anymore. Nice. This really changed the game. Jesus. Okay. So this is complete. Or just fixed, I guess. Fix. We fixed it. Yay. Get tile ID map. Map grid IJ to entities index. I guess ID. Nice. Love it. Let's see. Toggle wall. What's this again? Black. Black, 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 black. Oh, right. Okay, that's still broken. Only on the initialization, though. Yeah. Don't need it. No, what we actually... This is... Get tile in get tile ID. Switching back to tile. Why are you... Oh, right, type. There we go. Okay, it doesn't... Slide it back. Should I make a prepend entity? So, here, that's what I'm thinking. Right, so the bug is now click player on init, tile turns into wall. So the condition is that it's only at the start where, because of the way we initialize we initialize the player first and then the grid, right? So when we push entity, the very end, or this thing is completely grid. Get what I'm saying? Like, this whole thing is grid, or the tiles. Here, entity tile. So when I click here, it turns orange because the 2D array grid Counts everything as tile for now because of how we initialize it. We move it. We do it again. Player, we click the player. It doesn't work. Why? Because we already switched it here. The grid pointer has changed into the player. Or the tile. This grid here. Grid. Grid 3, 2. Player. But on initialization it. I mean, the quick fix is really just to change it again here. So right. This should fix it. Yep. Although I'm confused as to why it's not broken for the beam. Like, why is the thing? I should. Oh, okay. Broken as well. What the? Oh, right. So as I consume the bean, I click it. Is this important to fix anyway? Because I'm going to get rid of the clicking of the auto thing. makes sense, I guess. Just a case that I haven't considered. Yeah. Yeah. Actually. Huh. Yeah. No, I shouldn't be changing it to the tile. Right, I should be changing it to the player. Sleep. See. Nice. Okay, so when we click it, it's not turning. We need a B pointer. Doesn't mean, yeah. Okay. Same thing, same thing. Do 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 bum 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 da 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 da. Oh, this is just, yeah, okay. No, what size? Wait, what? Bean size. Oh, never made a bean size. Interesting. Okay. Bean. Da 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 da. Okay. I don't get why the beans work, but then the player does. Oh, right. Okay. So on initialize, let's see. Let's break it again. So if we comment this out and make the game again, we click player at the start, it's gonna change the wall behind it to yellow, or the tile behind it to a wall, right? But if we click bean, it doesn't work, or it's not a bug, because it's initially right. The player and the bean is probably the same, where the initial position is random. But the difference is that once we get into the game loop, mm, the player or the beans position, yes, here, it is always updated within the game loop, right? Because if there's not bean, then the next bean that shows up that's not in the same position as the player is going to be set in the grid. This is the thing that's causing why the bean is not changing, or clicking on the bean is not changing the tile behind it into a wall. But the player doesn't ever get that treatment because the designation only happens when the player is moved. So that's why. Yeah. I'll leave it there. So it's fixed. Nice. Set world grid IJ for player after init grid. Nice. Cool beans. Yeah, we could initialize the grid first and then the player and the bean, but swaps the ID around. When we push entity, player bean won't be 0. I mean, I guess we could prepend. But meh. Works for now. Cool. What else? What have we done? We have Add logic so player can't move through wall. I would say the big thing is actually fixing this bug. What's that? Let's see, let's just copy this. And then we also fixed oops. Dot, 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 dot. Fix this by mapping ij to grid ij. Please ID. Then what else? Fix this to this one we fixed by and then what? It file B. Set and then we have also, last but not least, move wall. You can't move the walls. And I guess we did clean up the move player. Yep. There. Clean up player movement. There. What? Okay. Okay. Nice. Next up. Mapping. XY. Grid IJ. This is better. How do we map it? Let's try the map. How do we do it? Gotta be within. So this is 0, 0. How do we know we're clicking on? Grid. Oh, let's just try the grid 0. Like a get tile offset. Get tile offset. Basically the padding. What is the padding? 50, 0. So this top left point here, left dead, game window. Thing Y. This is J. J is 0. Makes sense, right? Because 1, 0 is this 50 here, but it's 100 here. 50 and another 50. How do I... It's 50-50, right? The click has to be within 50 plus the width of the grid. Covers this thing. And also the click has to be 50 plus the height of the tile. So if we do that, we're here, for example, has to be however this plus the okay. Do the padding. This is grid start. Just top left. End. I think we need to start because we want to consider bound it. Squire say yesterday? War? Divide the grid XY by or divide the mouse XY divide by grid unit size and then floor it. I think I'm gonna take a break. I haven't taken a break since I fixed the bug and added stuff. Be right back. just gonna have to work this out on paper, I think. So let me draw stuff. So we have the grid, we have the mouse click, we the distance leftmost side of the screen to the mouse click. Call it XM. The Y on mouse click. Distance from the topmost of the window. Mouse click. Call it YM. Know the width of the grids. Height of how do we get the IJ position? Mm, wait, let me think for a sec. I think I got it wrong. Wait a minute. What the heck? So padding, what is padding? Let's try to change it to 0. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not wrong. Huh. So that is padding multiplied. Kind of weird. Oh, right. Okay, it makes sense. These are the offsets from the whatchamacallit, from the edges of the window. does the margin do again? Right. I don't get the spacing between things. I think this is not padding. This is just... What is that? Padding. I think my definition was off here. It's not padding. It's just... I think I just threw this quickly together. Then... just became the padding. Actually, that ain't the padding though. Doesn't make sense. So padding really is the distance between this thing here on the top left and the top left of the next one. That's not padding. I think if we just replace this with... Oh, okay, okay. Let me see. File size. Yeah, okay. So really that was supposed to be tile size. And then if we want padding, this is not where we add it. How do I add padding? If I add. Hmm. 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 Maybe like dash. What? Oh right. Hmm. Huh. What are Oh right. My bad. Whoopsie. Huh? What are talking about? Okay. Compatible operands. Oh. Nope. I think I'm gonna end soon. My brain's not working. Hmm. I guess now it makes more sense. Let's see. Wait, let's not do that yet. Uh, where were we again? So we'll get rid of that first, and then so instead of pattern, yeah, okay. So it is tile size. Yeah, okay. Tile size. Right. Um. Yeah, okay. I see now. I see what Squire was saying last time. Squire talked about lowering the value. This is margin. This is offset. This is the offset. Uh, not padding. Tile size. I just wanna see. So let's just do it the same thing, and then kind of see what this comes out on. Def D% D I mouse J. Okay, click at 0 0 0 1 0 3. Is this 4? So 0 1 2. Oh yeah, right, yeah. Huh. Never mind. It's mapped. Huh. So the problem's actually padding. We gotta figure out the padding. How do I add the padding? think I'm gonna end stream there because that's pretty much it. So position is just gonna be M mouse pause. It's gonna be these basically. That, just I, then J. Whoops. Hmm. Mm. If no, just do this here. I. What? Okay, I was just overcomplicating it earlier. Then, yeah, that makes sense. Doo-doo. Is it still same thing? Okay, nice, 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 nice. Nice. Okay, cool. Can we not use a switch case for this? I want to use a switch case. Nice. Cool. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, 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 gang. Gang, gang. Gang, 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 gang. Yeah. Get from XY vector to V. Let's pause. Sure. Oh, okay. So last time I just did it wrong. Okay. switch the type. Alt. Just do nothing. There we go. And for entity tile, wall, switch it to tile. What's nice? Wait, what? Oh, right, break. Oh. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I can see your chats. What's up, man? Doing good? Dun, da, 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 da. Dun, 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 da, da, da. Doing good, doing good. My day's been fine. Nothing much. Just chilling and coding. What about you? How's your day going? Oh, how's your day been? That's great. My day's been busy because of work, but it's fun. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Oh, man. The alert's not going off. That's so weird. See. Yeah, I really appreciate it, though. Small streamer just starting out, so every bit really helps. Let me try to make it work. Alerts. Yeah. Let me try sending test alert. I draw some cool stuff for streamers. And you know. I draw some cool stuff for streamers, and you know most of the streamer want project first. Would you like to see it? Sure. How are you gonna show it to me? Let me see. Just a second. Oops. Yeah, thanks, man. It's just DMCA free music. Oh, yeah, you can just send your Username, I'll add you. Oh. Oh, cool. You made all of these? This is really cool, man. Ah. let's see, where are we? Why isn't this working again? Oh, this is working, okay. Yeah, I think that's it for Alright, I think I'm gonna call it a day here. Let's see. Let's wrap this up. Randomly was not padding. Like a container for the actual tile. And size difference between that container and having actual size padding. Oops. Define adding 40, 50? No, yeah, 50. Then define our size is 40. mapping itself up being pretty simple once I cleared up that misunderstanding. Get position. Get what? Oh, right. Was from vector 2. Actually, we're just gonna vector 2 pause. Yeah, that's better. Pause. Yep. Cool. That's what Squire mentioned last time. With I equals L floor, was it? Can't even remember. Yep. L floor, R floor, Y by just fraction, I guess. Y and grid or height. Gee. I guess it's Last time in progress. Mapping complete. Position I and J to offset. Yep. Yup. I think that's it. Right? Okay, cool. Alright.